Alright, we are recording. As far as I know, I'm assuming so. 1, 2, 3, check. We're 1 dB up in volume. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, watch on. GPS on. I think I'm connected. Looks that way. Alright. Let's see how this works. I'm gonna miss my girl, but she's hard at work. Alright. Getting on the bike. Let's go. On our way to HOTWORX to do a stretching class. So what we do is we get on the bike, do a little cardio on the way there. It's approximately, for me, I burn about 300 and something calories on the way there. And heart rate gets up there pretty good. Well, that was a close one. I'm always adjusting this camera because I'm not sure which angle it should be at. Anyway, I'm not going super wide today with my lens, so hopefully this is wide enough. I guess we will find out. So I burned 330 calories, something like that on the way there. And then on the way back, I burned about the same, maybe a little more because my heart rate's up. So I'll be doing a stretching class that lasts about 45 minutes. And I guess I burn, since my heart rate is up, maybe 300 calories. So all in all, around 1,000 calories. Pretty good stretch of exercise. So here's where we cross. Well, there's no cars coming, so I'm going. All right. Finally broke 100 for my heart rate. I think I'm going to gear down a little bit here. Didn't check the pressure on my tires. They look a little lower today, but still good. So we're not listening to music right now. We've got a considerable amount of wind. So we're going to see if that windscreen is doing the trick. A lot of crickets, or katydids, or whatever they're called, locusts. So it's about 6 miles, I think, to HOTWORX. It's really a great form of exercise to bike there as opposed to driving there. A very enjoyable way to burn a ton of calories as opposed to just going to the gym and having to do a bunch of cardio and then jump on the weights or whatever you're going to do. All right, I'm up to 121 beats per minute. Heart rate. So it's a beautiful, warm July. The funny thing about being on a bike is that not nearly as hot when you're moving at 95 degrees. Feels pretty good actually. As soon as you stop, then you realize how hot it is. So there's a lot of wind right now. It's windy July. But I do have my new microphone system by DJI, or however you say it. I do have the windscreen on. It's supposed to help eliminate the wind, but man, it's loud. So I'm gonna buzz this guy with my bell. Hope it didn't scare him. You know, I'm pretty sure it's annoying for most of these joggers to hear that bell. Kind of like Tinkerbell sneaking up behind them, right? Sometimes they get really scared and jump and look at me like I was trying to do something mean to them. But at the same time, if I didn't do anything at all, alert them in any way, it's very possible that they're listening to their favorite tunes and they mosey on over to my side and I run into them, cause a bad crash. That would suck arse. So basically, as a kid growing up, I was a BMX biker. Did a lot of jumps and trails. Now that I'm older, I'm in really good shape. But I just got back into this recently in terms of biking. I do mountain biking now, as well as road cycling, and I'm on a hybrid right now, dual sport, which I love. My other bike is a Roscoe, which is a front suspension bike. We took it out, my wife and I took our bikes out to River Legacy, got filtered into the hardest part of the track, which is called EKG, for various obvious reasons, or just obvious reasons, right? Because it's a heart attack waiting to happen. But anyway, we got swarmed by tons of wasps. Had to turn around and get out of that mess. Thankfully nobody's hurt, although my buddy James got stung on his ass of all places. But he's a trooper about it. So we're gonna hit a major crossing up here called Precinct Line. Typically, you got to sit and wait after you push the cross button. What typically happens is the drivers are so territorial that they actually pull up into the bike lane, crossing lane. And I know I've been guilty of it too, but now that I bike more on the streets, I'm way more careful and cautious about it, which kind of makes sense. So it looks like I've been going about 16 miles per hour, 15.5, something like that. So it's just a nice, easy ride. It looks like I'm at about an average of, 120 beats per minute. If I stepped it up right now, I'd easily go up to 140 probably if I hit it. If I hit it real hard, I'd get up to 170. That's about my max. I could probably go past it, but I don't. So far, so good with this DJI mic being stuck with a magnet to my shirt. I don't even know I'm wearing it, really. Of course, I'm used to carrying around big mats and stuff while I'm on my bike. So I actually feel light today. I didn't bring my mat. Didn't want to mess with it. So here we are at the intersection. This is where I push it and wait. So as you can see, this is where the train crosses. There's always delays here. So it should change pretty soon. There's a guy across the street. He's been waiting for a while. So we'll see what happens. Here we go. All right, nice smooth fluid transaction. Whatever, I can't even think of the word. Smooth transaction. No doubt about it. All right. Looks like we're doing well so far to keep the camera stable. I don't even know if I made mistakes with my setup. I always try to remember to turn on hyper smooth or whatever it is to keep the footage stable, but I have no idea if I'm even wide enough. It's all about learning this camera so I can use it to film my wife cooking, doing meditations, some of our bike rides. This bridge is fun. It's brand new, smells good too. All right. So this is the Cotton Belt Trail over in North Richland Hills, Texas. My wife and I really love it. I usually listen to music when I ride. With my Sena helmet, it has a mesh intercom in it so I can communicate with my wife. I've used it once, it works great. But I didn't want music to be blaring into the microphone for the first time of me testing this. So, we're going without music, which is surprisingly okay. So what I've been doing is, since I'm on a hybrid bike, which is a gravel bike, road bike. I've been really working on my posture and my core. Mountain biking posture with my elbows out. Core to keep my body stabilized. It's been very helpful for control. I know it's confusing for my wife because she has to go from her Amanda, I believe it's pronounced, lightning fast road bike to her mountain bike. They're a completely different setup. So I'm sure her body's going through some struggles with positioning, which I think is fun. We got to keep expanding our minds and our talents, physical attributes, our balance. That's what it's all about. Nice little downhill and then uphill coming. Lots of wind. Whole lot of wind. That was the congested area. All right, I think I'm going to gear down on this one. A little bit of a hill, and I don't feel like sounding out of shape, which I'm not, but I would be clipped in right now too, but I don't want to think about it because I got to remember to unclip at intersections. I just geared down up a hill. That's a no-no, by the way. The things you do when you're huffing, right? All right, 147 beats per minute. You know, I'm not somebody that wants to start a YouTube channel or share a million videos, but I think it's fun to practice speaking, maybe show my friends and family some of the videos. Not sure the content is relevant to anybody. Could be, I don't know. But I am a professional photographer, not a video guy, but a photographer, still photography. And so, obviously this appeals to me. And technology makes it so easy to make decent videos really quickly and efficiently. Really looking forward to taking some trips with my wife. Some trails where we can get some really incredible footage that we can both look back and remember. And I haven't told her this, but I might let her wear the GoPro. Part of the ride, because she's behind me usually. So I can finally see myself too. Although I'd much rather see her, because she's a hot little number. So we'll see. I say we're at mile 4. I think we got 2 more miles to go to get to HOTWORX. HOTWORX is an infrared sauna. Well, let me say that again. It's a workout facility that's got like 8 different saunas. Each one of them has different exercises that you do. Typically, people don't share space. So for example, you look at your phone, you get on the app, you sign up for whatever class you want to take. You go in with your mat, take off your shoes, and there's a TV screen, and you follow that instructor as she guides you through the class. The real kicker here, though, is that you might be in 130 to 60 degree temperatures while you're doing these 45-minute classes. Let me tell you, it's no joke. One of the hardest things I've ever done, quite honestly. So we're gonna stop here, see if anybody lets us cross. Of course, they're not going to, they're just gonna all keep going. So you see, yeah, this guy's cool. Thanks, man. So, all right, back on the trail. So anyway, you sign up for a class, like some of the examples are yoga, you know, isometrics, which is yoga mixed with other stretches, and there's stretching, and then there's a bands class where you can use whatever band is appropriate for your strength level, and you follow the isometric band exercises, which are incredibly difficult. So you'll do biceps, chest, legs, glutes, you know, every muscle group you can think of, core, all sweating in infrared heat, which is great in terms of detoxifying your body. It's been one of the best times I've ever had working out, because I've always been a big fan of saunas, steam rooms. A lot of that comes from my martial arts background, where I like to sweat and be wrapped up in gis and heavy clothing. Plus, I love to stay lean. I feel so much better when I'm lean. Got more energy, more strength. Clothes look better. And all that stuff. So look at all this traffic here. Wow. I guess we ought to go. All right, this is a good place. I've learned this after taking this route. Cross the street and stay on this path. Keep you out of the street for the most part. No worries. It's kind of weird how some days people are just nice, right? Human nature really blossoms. Maybe it's the stars and the moon. I learned that from somebody when I was in a touring rock band signed with a label. He said, man, it's the stars and the moon. Thanks, man. And meaning sometimes it's just luck, you know? Even though you work hard, you happen to be at the right place at the right time, seen by the right person, you know? Which did indeed happen to me as a young man, which I'm very appreciative. But I stuck with it a long, long time in order to reap those rewards. But I really believed that I had something special as a writer and a performer, so I knew it was my best chance. Although I didn't make millions of dollars, I learned lessons from that business that translated to my other choices in life, especially photography, which my marketing background and people skills, you know, working with, you know, different clients, different nationalities and all that, really helped me become very well-rounded in terms of just business. And my technical skill and creative skill got really good, you know, and a lot of that had to do with music. That's the hardest profession anybody could be in, really. That's why I was kind of glad to get out of it and actually do something tangible where I could make money easily. Yeah. All right. Traffic's been great. So I've got a GPS that tells me who's coming up behind me, how many cars there are. It's called a Varia. It's amazing. Thank you. So people are letting me pass, which is cool. Maybe because I'm smiling, talking to the camera. Who knows? Probably look like a complete idiot. But nowadays it's kind of commonplace, right? People in the grocery store. I mean, how many times have you tried to talk to somebody who's actually talking to somebody else on a Bluetooth? Maybe they're talking to their boyfriend and you think they're asking you a question. You go, huh? And they're like, nope, I'm on the phone with somebody. You always feel like a complete idiot. But I've learned to look and be proactive. Well, we're getting close. We're almost 6 miles, 5.6. I'm assuming it's still recording. Yep, I can see the little red light flashing. I'm so green at all these gadgets in the video world. Really hard to know what's working and what's not working once you get going. It's a beautiful day. Right now on this bike, it legitimately feels like 70 degrees. Just feels amazing. But if I quit pedaling, it automatically feels like 90 again. So that has me worried for the winter, right? When it's 60 and feels like 30. Which I don't do well with that kind of wind and cold. All right. All right, so we're gonna go straight here. I used to have a studio out here called Premiere. It's a whole other story. All right. Okay. Safety first. I am always overly particular about looking every which way before I do anything, or even stopping if need be. Looking over my shoulder, because you cannot trust anybody, really. Cars don't ever pay attention to bikes. You know? It's just... All right. This is like a little taste of Italy or Europe, I guess. There's my little studio right there. Right there with a little sacred geometry. What is that? Trinity Aesthetic and Laser. Speaking of that laser stuff, my wife loves that. She's got no hair on her legs and loves it all. Loves every second of it. I do too. I kind of need that for my chest and back, to be honest, because I'm like a gorilla and I got to shave like every other day. As long as I shave every other day, it's easy. It just takes an extra 3 or 4 minutes in the shower. Of course, I can't shave my back very well. It's so nasty, right? I'm sure nobody is listening to this wants to hear about that. So I will refrain. All right, we're almost there. So this is a kind of a high traffic area, but there's nobody coming from my left. So I'm heading out into the street because I'm getting ready to turn left up here, put up my hand signal and do my thing. All right. Alrighty. So we're about 29 minutes and 31 seconds. So 30 minutes is about perfect amount of cardio before I go in and do my stretching class. Then I get 30 more minutes on the way home after I'm tired, eh? So I get to ride by Sonic and smell the hot dogs and the pretzels or whatever it is they sell. I don't really eat there, so I used to. My wife keeps me very well nutritioned up. Greek food, Asian foods, even gluten-free food, which she's gluten intolerant. So I've gotten used to skipping on a lot of gluten, which is probably great. She's an amazing cook, amazing wife. And I had an amazing upbringing and raised two beautiful children. My mom and dad were loving and supportive on anything that I tried to do, which means everything to a kid, you know. All right, well, we've arrived at HOTWORX. Whew. All right, so I'm gonna lock it up. And I got an alarm on this bike too. So anyway, I'm gonna lock it up and say goodbye.